The path to continuous quality improvement, using Ohio's Step Up to Quality system to implement strong systems to support children and families. This training will provide an overview of Step Up to Quality and how it pertains to the work of early childhood professionals and Cincinnati Public School employees. It will break down the various parts of Step Up and relate it back to the work that is already being done by teachers, paraprofessionals, and hub staff. If after you complete this training you have additional questions, please contact Angie McDonald in the Early Childhood Office. Step Up to Quality is Ohio's tiered quality rating and improvement system. It began in 2006 as a pilot program in Hamilton County and expanded throughout the state of Ohio in 2007 to ODJFS licensed programs and then to ODE licensed programs in 2014. It has also evolved over the years from a 3-star rating system to what we are now familiar with, 5 stars. Step Up to Quality begins with a solid foundation of Ohio Department of Education preschool licensure rules. It then requires that programs go above and beyond licensure in the areas of learning, professional development, qualifications, leadership practices, and work with families. Many people refer to Step Up to Quality as a building block system. You can't have a strong 5-star rated program without solid performance in each of these areas. If you are missing one block, you are missing a key piece to providing the best for Ohio's children and families. The next slides will talk about each of the blocks listed above and provide more information about what this looks like for you in your school and classroom. To start with a quality program, you must have a solid foundation in rules outlined by the Ohio Department of Education. These rules are put in place to keep children safe. They fall into several categories, and you can reference them by clicking the link in the slide above. The following categories addressed in these rules include compliance and investigation, programming, staffing, facilities, equipment and supplies, policies and procedures, child information, school food services, behavior management and discipline, management of communicable diseases, and diapering. Cincinnati Public Schools uses the most stringent regulations to determine its programming. Head Start has rules in addition to the Ohio Department of Education that place our classrooms in the best position to serve the children and families of our district in a safe, healthy, and comprehensive manner. In addition to those ODE regulations, Head Start includes expectations in the following areas: eligibility, recruitment and enrollment, program structure, education and child development services, health services, family and community engagement, services for children with disabilities, program management, and quality improvement. Although not all classrooms receive Head Start funding, all classrooms are expected to maintain these same standards to help families have a consistent experience across the district. Please click the link in the above slide to reference the Head Start performance standards and read the regulations in more detail. Within Step Up to Quality, there are 4 large components that need to be considered. The next several slides will provide more details about those components. The first component, administrative and leadership practices, is all about making sure to take care of the employee. Step Up to Quality recognizes that without a solid foundation to help employees get their needs met, there may be significant staff turnover. When turnover is significant, it can have a tremendous impact on the experience for the other employees and also the families and children being served. To deter this as much as possible, Step Up to Quality has included guidance for programs to consider in the following areas: staff supports like time off, benefits, and planning time built into the workday, administrative supports like the use of the One Plan, gaining family and staff input, and completing a continuous improvement plan, or CIP, staff management tools like staff evaluations, and supporting continued professional development through planning. Although these things can at times seem overwhelming, they are in place to support each of you. The next component of Step Up to Quality is staff education and professional development. Step Up to Quality requires that teachers and paraprofessionals meet certain requirements in education and continued or ongoing professional development. To track these things, Ohio uses a model called the Career Pathway System. This system assigns a level of 1 to 6 to those working in early childhood that is based on education, experience, and continued professional development. You can read more about this system by visiting the Resource tab at www.occrra.org. The next component is all about the family and community partnerships that each school and teacher creates. The Family and Community Partnership domain within Step Up to Quality looks to provide parameters around transitions for children and families, as well as partnerships with other organizations within the community. Classrooms and schools will be assessed based on the following information: how they support children and families as they enter and exit the program, what intentional activities and individualized plans are in place to support children transitioning to kindergarten, how they communicate with families and attempt to involve them, how they educate their families, and what community partnerships are in place. When each of these areas is addressed and implemented well, the families and children will have a well-rounded program and experience that sets them up for success not only in preschool, but also in their years to come. The Learning and Development domain within Step Up to Quality addresses all of the things that happen inside the classroom that support a well-rounded and comprehensive educational experience. There are 3 specific areas that need to be considered: curriculum and planning, screening and assessment, and interactions and environment. Curriculum and planning includes the use of the early learning and development standards, the implementation of creative curriculum, and how teachers plan not only for the whole group, but also each individual child. Screening and assessment looks at learning and areas that children may need additional supports in. Tools that are used include the ages and stages, informal teacher-created assessments, formal assessments like the ELA and TS Gold. Another important piece to consider in this area is how this information is communicated to families. Third, interactions and environment. Having a well-prepared and appropriately stocked classroom is important, and just as important is how the adults in the classroom interact with those materials and the children. Step Up to Quality will observe your classroom using the Ohio Classroom Observation Tool, or JFS Form 0044, to determine strengths and areas of growth, as well as to support which star rating will be awarded. To prepare teachers for this observation, Cincinnati Public Schools uses a tool known as the CLASS to examine the adult interactions and classroom environment. This allows the teacher to have an outside observer come into their classroom and provide feedback regarding that snapshot in time. Based on that information, teachers will create an action plan to further improve their practices. When all of these pieces are put together, children will certainly be ready for life beyond the preschool classroom. For the experience of the child and family to be the best possible, it's imperative that all of these blocks be present. The beautiful structure that is built is only as good as the piece next to it. To have one piece without another is fruitless. All the blocks would come tumbling down if the others weren't fully present and there to provide support. For just a moment, close your eyes and imagine the perfect classroom. All of the materials you could ever want are there. The furniture is arranged just so. Quiet areas are apart from louder, messier ones. There are spaces for children to work independently and in small groups. The lighting is just the way you want it. Now imagine that the last person that knocked on your door is going to be placed in that room as the classroom teacher. What knowledge do they have of young children? Could they keep them safe? Would they know how to talk with families? What training is available to them to help them be successful? In my case, the last person to knock on my door was a repair guy for the internet service. Although he was personable and kind, I would hate to see him put into a room with 20 preschool children when he doesn't have all the tools he needs to be successful. Obviously, this example is somewhat extreme. However, we have all been new at some point in time. Imagine your first day on the job as a preschool teacher. What if your school didn't have appropriate materials? What if you needed to learn more about a specific strategy to help you and essentially the children be more successful? Fortunately, Cincinnati Public Schools has all of these pieces to help you and the children and families be successful. No one school or classroom is going to be perfect. However, with the mindset of always trying to better our work through a continuous cycle to improve quality of services offered to you, the employee, and the children and families served in the district, we will get close. Step Up to Quality encourages all of us to think about the systems in place to support you, the educator, so that you can better serve the families and children of our district. Without continual growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success have no meaning. The rules of the Ohio Department of Education, Head Start, and Step Up to Quality help us better our practices and achieve more growth, not only in ourselves, but also the children. For additional questions about any of the information presented, please contact Angie McDonald. Thank you for all you do.